Welcome to Send in Surrey, a village in the Wey Valley with a riverside church that's been here for 800 years.
My name is Martin Jones. I'm a historian. I am here today at St Mary's Send. I'm standing in the West Gallery of St Mary's. West Galleries were once universal. All churches had them. Then the Victorians got rid of virtually all of them. So this is a very rare survival, and it's a very beautiful example too. The west window, rather hidden behind the gallery, you need to come up and have a look. It's a very good example of late Victorian glass. It shows the Resurrection. It's by one of the great stained glass firms of Victorian Britain, Clayton and Bell. They were used by some of the really big names of Victorian architects. This deep, rich red, as in the angels' cloaks and one or two other places, is absolutely classic Clayton and Bell colour. The resurrection scene in the central panel shows the rising Christ, and below two soldiers on guard at the tomb. It was pretty common to show soldiers asleep or soldiers absolutely astonished by what was going on, and here I think we've got one of each. In the chancel is an extraordinary brass corona. We are used to a church which is lit by electricity. You just turn the switch on. That, of course, has not always been the case. And in a rural church like this one, there wouldn't have been electricity until well into the 20th century. They might have had gas lighting before that, but somewhere rural like Send, that's probably unlikely too. Churches until at least the late 19th century, except in big towns, were lit by candles. And this brass corona is a wonderful Victorian survival of the way in which a Victorian church was lit. The corona was a present to the church from one of its Victorian vicars. It is a splendid piece of Gothic work with a beautiful inscription around the bottom ring, where you've got lettering in one colour contrasting with the brass colour on the other. And it forms the most wonderful three-tiered construction, rather like a wedding cake, to light the chancel for the vicar and the choir extremely clearly. The east window is very striking. It's a memorial to a young officer killed very early on in the war, November 1914. The picture, or the series of pictures, shows a whole series of warrior saints, angels in armour. It's a very striking image. The central lancet is dominated by a great figure in the upper part of an archangel in armour. He carries scales. This is St Michael, a warrior saint, very appropriate for a war memorial, and he dominates the entire window. On the left, in the upper part, there is a kneeling figure in armour, a crown on a helmet at his knee, a king, a kingly saint. If this is Britain, England, and given 1914 it almost certainly is, the most likely candidate for who that is St Edmund, a Saxon king, Christian, who was killed and the church soldiers martyred by invading Vikings. In the equivalent place on the other side, on the right, another kneeling figure in armour, whose head is covered. Very difficult to see the face. The features seem rather refined. Possibility, my best guess, that's Joan of Arc. Bottom right, three standing figures. Again, warriors, there's armour, there are swords. At the back on the left is a figure whose face looks unlike all of the others. It looks like a Victorian photograph, a man with a moustache. Best guess, this is probably a portrait of the person to whom the window is a memorial, Captain Onslow of the Queen's Lancers.